Charles Darwin and the Journey of the HMS Beagle. Darwin's Voyage of Discovery. Who was Charles Darwin? He was an English naturalist whose observations during the Beagle voyage transformed science. He was born in 1809 and died in 1882. Here you can see a picture of him on the Beagle. The HMS Beagle pictured here at sea was a British Royal Navy ship built for surveying and later refitted for exploration. I think the ship itself was more than just a vessel. It provided Darwin with the freedom and resources to observe nature in a way few people had before. Setting sail, 1831. The Beagle set sail from England in 1831 on a 5-year scientific journey. This map shows the path that the ship took along South America, across the Pacific, and back to England. I interpret this route as more than a map. It was a roadmap for discovery where Darwin collected specimens and observations that would later form the foundation of evolutionary theory. The mission of the Beagle was to chart the South American coastline and gather scientific data. Here Darwin is shown standing and observing the sea and coastline, illustrating his role as an active observer. The map here shows the 1845 South American map, and it shows the areas that the Beagle surveyed. I think this slide shows that Darwin's journey wasn't just travel. It was a systematic search for patterns in nature and evidence of life's diversity. First impressions, South America. Darwin was astonished by the landscapes and the new species he encountered. This jungle scene shows the kind of dense and vibrant forest he explored during his time in Brazil. The fossils carefully sketched in his notebooks were of giant mammals extinct in Europe. I interpret these experiences as the moment Darwin's curiosity turned into questioning. How could species differ so much from place to place? These impressions planted seeds for his later ideas on evolution. Challenges. The voyage was not easy. Storms, rough seas, and the ship damage made life on the Beagle dangerous. On January 13, 1833, this image shows the result after the storm and the fixing of it, but the second image is an AI image that shows the Beagle battling the storm. I think these challenges emphasize that scientific discovery often involves endurance, courage, and the ability to keep observing even under difficult conditions. Patagonia in the southern tip of South America. Here Darwin is shown recording observations of rocks, fossils, and wildlife. The Beagle arriving shows how remote and challenging these areas were. This quote shows Darwin's awe at the power and contrast of nature, the lush green full of life versus harsh and icy lands of Tierra del Fuego. I interpret this moment as where he begins to think deeply about survival, adaptation, and the role of the environment. Galapagos Islands. In the Galapagos Islands, Darwin observed that each island has its own unique species. Here you can see his famous finches that he studied, and this map shows the islands where he made his observations. This quote shows how Darwin is noticing patterns in these species, and differences among the finches suggested that the species could change over time and adapt to their surroundings. Return to England. After 5 years at sea, Darwin returned to England and began writing The Voyage of the Beagle, published in 1839. In the first image, you can see him working on the book in his study room, and for the second image, you can see the title page of his book. This quote shows how deeply the journey shaped Darwin, both personally and scientifically. I interpret it to mean that Beagle voyage was more than a travel. It was the foundation of his revolutionary ideas about evolution, and his observations